Welcome back to another edition of Gary's Record Collection. We are going back this time out to the early 80s when The Who was on their last U.S. tour. That was 1983. They decided, you know what, 40 years old is probably old enough to be a touring band, and they were going to quit. We covered that tour in the episode about Who's Last, which is the live recording. But to generate interest, MCA was their record label for many, many years. And oddly enough, not the record label of the last two Who albums. That was Face Dances and It's Hard. Those were put out by Warner Brothers. MCA wanted to capitalize on the Who, and they put out greatest hits albums, and they had done it a lot. And the one we're going to do this time out is called Who's Greatest Hits, released in 1983. This was right after the final tour in the fall of '82, and so what you've got is basically a greatest hits package. Not uncommon for the Who. They had been putting out greatest hits packages for a while. They put one on in '81 called Hooligans. You could make an argument that the Kids Are Alright soundtrack in '79 was a compilation. You had Meaty Beaty Big and Bousy, and Odds and Sods. Those were maybe a little bit more rare, but they were greatest hits albums. Like literally every greatest hits album you can get from the Who probably has Pinball Wizard on it. But I digress here at the moment. I want to go through a few things. There are a few rarities on here. The first one is Magic Bus. And the Magic Bus, what a great song. It is, however, though, slower on this version than the original release. They slowed the tape down for some unknown reason. It's a little semi-toned down. And that chorus, Too Much the Magic Bus, I have heard in a much higher pitch. I am used to that. For whatever reason, I guess it could be the semitones. There was an alternate version that was recorded and put out in the mid-'70s on a compilation, but it's a different mix, a different everything. So this one is just slowed down. So they just pitched it down for whatever reason. And it got out on a few releases like that. So you can really tell during that little chorusy bit there the difference in pitch. Another song that was on this is a bit of a rarity, at least it was when the album came out, was The Relay, which was a single. And for whatever reason, the single was cut to be about 3 minutes and 25 seconds or so. This version is 3 minutes and 47 seconds.
You can hear it in the street, see it in the dragging feet. The word is getting out about control. Spies ain't come and gone, story travels on. The only quiet place is inside your soul. From tree to tree, from you to me, traveling twice as fast as on any freeway. Every single dream wrapped up in the scheme, they all get carried on the relay.
And I guess Pete Townsend was not really super thrilled with this because he said it sounded like a lot of other Who songs at the same time. So it didn't get on into the album, but it was released as a single in edited form. And now here's the originally restored to its full length. When it comes to editing for singles, I mean, it was a practice that bands had to do because when you were on pop radio, like, American Top 40 and all of those, any of those radio stations that would play those top hits and singles especially, you really couldn't go over 5 minutes with a song. I mean, one of the biggest offenders of that, which they never cut down, was Richard Harris and MacArthur Park back in 1968. It was like 7 minutes long. I mean, the way they crammed it onto a 45, but they played the whole thing because it was 7 minutes. Most other songs, though, got chopped to get down into that 3 minute, 4 minute, up to maybe 5 minute length. And that's just the way radio was. If you wanted to listen to the whole thing, you'd go over to FM radio, where it was, at the time, FM radio was like underground, they called it. FM was really for like long air music, classical music and everything. And when they started playing album oriented rock, they would play entire album sides. It did not come across as like the for-profit machine that AM radio was with the hit singles. None can be probably a clearer case than Won't Get Fooled Again. Originally on Who's Next album, it was like, 8 minutes long, 8.5. They put a single out for AM radio, 3 minutes and 45 seconds. We'll listen to this and listen for all the edits within the song. Edit number 1.
We'll be fighting in the street with our children at our feet. In tomorrow's today worship will be gone. And the men who spurred us on, sitting judgment of all wrong, they decide and the shotgun sings the song. I'll tip my take a bow for the new revolution. Smile and grin at the change all around. Pick up my guitar and play, just like yesterday. Then I'll get on my knees and pray. We don't get fooled again. No.
Edit number 2. Edit number 3.
Myself and my family aside. If we happen to be left out alive, I'll get all my papers and smile at the sky. Oh, I know that the hypnotized never lie.
Edit number 4. Completely trashed the synthesizer section.
Same as the old boss.
I think that was number 6 in there too. Yeah, I mean, that was 6 edits in there, and there may have been a 7th one in there. I lost count during an instrumental. They may have tightened that up just a little bit. Yeah, but that's how you get an 8-minute song down to 3.5 for AM radio. You know what? When I got this album, I was really just getting into The Who and like getting whatever albums I could. And you know, getting best of albums is sometimes the way that people start because they have all the hits that you hear on the radio. And so that's great. Oh, well, Won't Get Fooled Again is on here. And I listened to it and it's like, what is this tragedy that I'm listening to? It's not what I'm hearing on the radio. But that's the way it goes. That's how they cram, 15 songs on a record, which is like, 45, 50 minutes long. They have to go with those edited versions. Another one, edited version that was on there was from 1978, Who Are You? Cut by about a minute. We're not going to play the whole song, but we're going to go to the end part where they just basically got rid of the verse after that middle section of the quiet synthesizer and guitar. So let's go. Here we go. About here. And there it is. They basically cut like in the middle of a verse and then went way ahead a minute later and tried to pick it up. And you can hear it because of the cymbals that Keith Moon was playing a lot more intense than it was in that first part of that section. So they got Who Are You from 6 something down to 506, which is, not bad for AM radio, but oh well. And that's how it goes. So that's what happens sometimes, especially when you have a single album. And it's the best of. You want to jam all of it on there. Still a good album, though. I mean, it's got the hits on there. Substitute, My Generation, Pinball Wizard, of course, which is on every known compilation of all time. Happy Jack, My Wife, Love, Rain Over Me, etc., etc., etc. Not a bad album if you want those single versions of the songs. That's one place you can pick them up. They are scattered around on different releases, but I think that was the first time that those may have been put out on an album. So there you go. Anyway, Who's Greatest Hits? Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time on Gary's Record Collection.